पंखा कम करेगा मन, गर्मी लग रहा है क्या? एसी ऑन करो। To disperse extended family and the beanpole family. So this can come in the exam from today. So only they can ask. So what is the dispersed extended family and the beanpole family? Who conducted research on the dispersed extended family and the beanpole family? So dispersed extended family, wherein the geographical location of the family has changed. The kinship relations has become dispersed, wherein we see the nuclear type of isolated family occurring in the urban areas and the rural areas comprising of the extended kins. A number of attempts have been made to characterize contemporary families in the light of the research, which has found that the people often continue to maintain contact with the extended family members. Maintain contact with the external family members even if they live some distance away. So this can be a potential question in the exam about the dispersed external family and the beanpole family. On the basis of the research carried out in London in 1980s, Peter Wilmot. So it's a research by Peter Wilmot. Peter Wilmot claimed that the dispersed extended family is becoming dominant in Britain. So dispersed extended family is becoming dominated in Britain. It consists of two or more related families who cooperate. So it's two or more related families who cooperate with each other even though they live some distance apart. Contacts are fairly frequent. So this is research emphasizes the significance of the extended family, wherein the household has become isolated in urban areas. Hi Isaac. Hi, I'm at Grace. From no, I'm coming. Okay, guys, you can like, share, and subscribe the channel. So hi everyone, those who are watching me. Hi Isaac, if you're still watching, so I'm fine. So fairly frequent, taking place in on average perhaps once a week. So contacts are fairly frequent in such type of family, in the dispersed isolated family and the dispersed external family, but less frequent than they were among external families who live close together. Cars, public transport, and telephones, they have they have made it possible for the families to contact with each other, although the household has become isolated. So cars, public transport, telephones make it possible for disposed extended families to keep in touch. Members of dispersed extended family do not rely on each other on day-to-day basis. Of course, it's just a kinship relationship. They do not rely on each other. Or you, I don't see you. Okay, right now it's a live study session going on. I'll conduct a different live video wherein you can meet me. Right now I'm conducting a live study session. Cars, public transport, and telephones may make it possible for dispersed extended family to keep in touch. Members of the dispersed extended families do not rely on each other on day-to-day basis. Just they have cultural contact with each other. Hilmer sees each nuclear family unit as only partially dependent upon external. Okay. So Peter Wilmot research on the dispersed extended family and the Beanpole family, wherein they still maintain contact with their kins, and this has been made possible due to increasing transportation, use of telephone, internet, and social media platforms. However, the contact that's maintained between the kins is occasional. They do not rely upon the kins on day-to-day basis like it used to happen in classical extended family. So Wilmot sees nuclear family unit as only partially dependent upon extended kin. Much of time the nuclear family is fairly self-sufficient. But in times of emergency, the existence of extended kin might prove invaluable, right? So they are present during a time of emergency, not on the day-to-day basis. Thus, Wilmot argues that Peter Wilmot study of the dispersed extended family maintenance of the kin's relationship, not on day-to-day basis dependency, but during the time of emergency. And this contact has been made possible due to the transportation system, social media platform, telephones. This Wilmot argues that in modern Britain, although kinship is largely chosen, it only survives, but most of them time flourishes. It not only survives, but also time flourishes. Julia Brennan puts forward an alternative view. Okay. Drawing on research in which she was involved, Brennan argues that there are strong intergenerational links. So there are strong intergenerational links between three generation links between grandparents and generation in contemporary Britain. This is partly because people are living longer, and therefore there are more families with 3 or even 4 generations alive than they were in the past. So research on the extended families and research shows how the kids will still maintain. Peter Wilmot is a different type of family. Peter Wilmot research. Then we come to Julia Brennan puts forward an alternative view. By research in which she was involved, Brennan argues that there are strong intergenerational links. And Brennan found that grandparents are increasingly providing informal child care for their grandchildren. So they are providing informal child care for their children. In addition, grandparents often give financial help to their grandchildren. Okay, to their children, grandchildren. According to Brennan research, adults still provide practical or emotional support for elderly parents. Emotional support for elderly parents in many families, and sometimes it also help them out financially as well. Emotional and practical support. Emotional support for the practical. Although these family links are generally regarded as optional, they are commonplace and play a crucial role in maintaining family cohesion. Optional, they are commonplace and play is. So, although these family links are generally regarded as optional, they are commonplace and play a crucial role in maintaining family cohesion. Brennan claims that these intergenerational links tend to survive changes in families. Okay, intergenerational tend to survive changes in families such as those resulting from divorce. For example, lone parents may rely more on help with child care from grandparents than parents living with a partner. Okay, yeah, this is a nice assumption. So lone parents may rely more on help with child care from grandparents rather than parents living with or without a partner. In contrast to the intergenerational links, Brennan found that intergenerational links between those from this intragenerational links between those from the same generation, for example, siblings and cousins, were somewhat weaker. Oh, intergenerational intergenerational links. Okay. Hi Ashik, Ram Ram. In contrast to the intergenerational links, Brennan found that intergenerational links from the same generation, for example, siblings and cousins, were somewhat weaker. Many multi generational families are now long and thin, typically described as beanpole families. अच्छा, these are the beanpole families, Peter Wilmot and Brennan research. So many multi-generational families are now long and thin, typically described as beanpole families. Multi-generational families. They have fewer intra-generational ties because of high divorce rate, falling fertility rate, and smaller family size, but more vertical intergenerational ties because of increased longevity. Okay, so these are the beanpole families, wherein the family members, the so-called isolated nuclear family, have stronger ties with intergenerational members of the family, like the grandparents, grandfather, rather than the intergenerational members, like the cousins or the siblings and all. So this type of families are known as the beanpole families. So many multi-generation families are now long and thin, typically described as the beanpole family. They have fewer intergenerational ties because of they have intergenerational high divorce rate, falling and increase and small high divorce rate, falling fertility rate, smaller family size, but more vertical intergenerational ties because of the increased longevity. Okay, this is a very interesting concept. What is the name of it? Julia Brennan. So we have Peter Wilmot and Julia Brennan, and the whole idea of the Beanpole family and the dispersed external family, wherein they maintain the kin, relationship with their kins, and the reason why is increased transportation and telephone communication facilities. And there's also the emergence of in Julia Brennan research put forward an alternative views. It says that the intergenerational links are becoming stronger in family, and the intergenerational links are weaker than the intergenerational links. And this she described as beanpole family. So why the intergenerational link is weaker than the intergenerational link? The reason for that is that that intergenerational link is weaker is because of increasing divorce rate, low fertility rate, and intergenerational links is more strong because of increased longevity when people are maintaining more stronger relationship with their grandparents and grandfather rather than with their cousins or siblings. So this is good. You can just mention this for in the people family. I will move towards family diversity. This can be a potential question. So the potential question from this topic. There's a question answer. Question on this can again be a question on family diversity in the contemporary modern period, or in the contemporary times. What are the different types of family that's emerging? So what they can ask in the exam, either they can ask about the social change, or they can ask about the significance and the issues of any social phenomena. Hi Ali Khan. So hello everyone. Hi Ali Khan. So now moving towards family diversity. So what are the different types of families that's occurring in the modern society, or in the contemporary times, and what's the reason for the emergence of such type of families, and how it is different from the kinship based families and the classical extended families. So family diversity. So we can get some questions from here, like they can ask us, what do you mean by the serial packet image of the family? You know, the serial packet image of the family, wherein in the ads or advertisement of the serial product, they try to show a certain type of family, a specific type of family comprising of the husband, wife, and children. So that's a classic representation of the isolated nuclear family that was mentioned by Parson. So we have already done about the beanpole family of Kate Pickmott, and the dispersed extended family, and the beanpole. So the beanpole family that comprises of the members of the family in which the intergenerational kinship ties is weakened than the intergenerational kinship ties. By intergenerational kinship tie, I mean that the relationship between the siblings and the cousins, and the relationship between the grandparents and the other vertical generation has been strengthened. So this we call as a beanpole family. So family diversity. So what are the possible questions we can get from here? So I think one most important question I can find is the serial packet image of the family, and other one is the monolithic image of the family that they try to show in advertisement of certain food products. So I'm trying to finish this portion today anyhow, because it will like be a bit too much to handle for tomorrow. So although some historians such as Michael and Young studies have already done. So although some historians such as Michael Anderson have pointed to a variety of household types in the pre-industrial times and during the time of the industrialization, it has generally been assumed that a single type of family is dominant in any particular era. So it's generally assumed by commoners and even the researchers that in the pre-industrial period, the kinship-based family was dominant. There was no evidence of different types of family like the nuclear family or the single women family, and they just believe that kinship-based family and the extended family was dominant during that period. And when we come in the time of the capitalist mode of production, that is during the time of the process of industrialization, they assume that only nuclear family is dominant. They do not take into account different types of family that's present in the industrial time period. So that's where they need to rectify their research process. So, although some historians, Michael Anderson, have pointed to a variety of household types in the pre-industrial family and industrialization, it has generally been assumed that a single type of family is dominant in any particular era. Um, Whether the modern family is regarded as nuclear, dispersed, extended, or being-whole family, so all this assumption has been given to the modern type of family as nuclear, is being-whole, nuclear, dispersed, extended, or being-whole. The assumption has been made that this type of family is central to people's experiences in modern industrial societies. However, we see the recent research has suggested that the societies are characterized by a diverse type of family structure and a plurality of the household, rather than thinking of the fact that just one type of or one structure of family dominates the industrial society. You can call it nuclear, you call it dispersed, you call it extended, you call it input. Okay, so this is the thing that they are wanting to convey from this paragraph. So the potential question that I can frame from this paragraph is that, again, the different diverse type of family, do you agree or not? So whether the modern family is regarded as a nuclear, dispersed, extended, okay, modern family is regarded as a nuclear, dispersed, extended, or being poor, that has been that is a family central to people's experiences in the modern industrial societies. However, recent research has suggested that societies are characterized by plurality, of course, plurality of, or diversity of the household and the family types. And that the idea of a typical family is misleading. The typical family, comprising of the heterosexual couple engaged in the process of production and the primary socialization of children is misleading. So the serial packet image of the family. So what is the idea or the overall idea of the serial packet image of the family? And this research has been done by the famous feminist, liberal feminist, that's Anne Oakley. So Anne Oakley research is very famous. It's whether she has conducted research on new mothers or on family structure, it's very famous. So there is a potential assumption from my side that such questions can be framed, the serial or packet image of the family. So Anokli described the image of the typical or the conventional families. She says conventional families are nuclear families. So this is the image of the conventional family, that it's a nuclear family composed of legally married couples. So Anokli described the image of the typical or the conventional family. She says conventional family are the nuclear families that's composed of the legally married couples, voluntarily choosing the parenthood of one or more children, but not too many. So that's how she defines the serial packet image of the family. To move beyond this, portrays of family in media and all. Serial packet image of the family, the being cool family, the dispossession family, what is the closing one dispossession, nuclear isolated family, or you call it a being poor family. So these are the diverse family structure that can be found in the society. And the image of from here, so from here, what the serial packet, explain the serial packet image of the family. So Anokli described this image of the family, the typical conventional family. She says conventional families are nuclear families composed of legally married couple, voluntarily choosing the parenthood of Hamza nuclear family composed of legally married couple, voluntarily choosing the parenthood of one or more children or too many children. So Leach called the serial packet image of the family, called this as a serial packet image of the family. So it was Leach who said it. The image of the happily married couple with two children. So this is how the advertisement industry presents the image of the serial packet image of the family. The image of the happily married couple with two children is prominent. Happily married couple with two children is prominent in advertising, and the family-sized packets of cereals and other types of product are aimed at just this type of grouping. It tends also to be taken for granted that it tends also to be taken for granted that this type of family has its material needs met by the male breadwinner, while the wife has a predominantly domestic role. While the wife has a predominantly domestic role.